Welcome back to our SketchUp for Schools Plan Set 8 project. And in this episode, we're going to put all the color into the project. So we're going to go through the materials panel and put in all the materials, edit the materials that we want to edit, and do all of that. So let's get started with kind of the ground up. So you always want to make sure that you are inside the actual component or group. So I want to edit the ground. Come over here, you have your materials panel, or you can click on the paint bucket tool and that will open up the materials panel. You have two different tabs. Your first one is the little home. This is all of the image or all of the materials that you have used in your project. They will stay in here even though you delete it. So like I was before, I had some grass and concrete and stuff like that, and I've deleted it since, but it will still stay in here until you purge it. So once you kind of finish up your project, you'll tend to want to purge materials, your components, all that stuff to kind of get rid of everything, because it does stay there even though if you deleted it. So you have over here, you have all of the different materials that we have available to us. There's a whole bunch, and you can even bring in and import your own. So if you have a whole bunch of seamless textures and everything, then you can bring those in as well. Up here, once you have so let's say we created some grass. Actually, let's go ahead and do the concrete. So let's say you click on your material that is in your model. We can come up here and we can download it. So let's say we wanted to work on it and change it a little bit. And then we also can edit the material. Here we can change the name of it, we can duplicate it, we can colorize it, we can add in a texture, we can change the opacity. So say we want this to be a bit darker, we can kind of come in here and make it a little bit darker, and that will change it in throughout our whole entire project. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go over here to our landscaping. You have two different grasses. We have this one right here, which is the light green grass. I like this dark green grass, so that's what I'm going to use. Make sure that you're inside the group and go ahead and click. The reason why we need to make sure that we're inside the group is if we right click and we go to texture and make unique texture is there. So here I can click on position, and I can actually move the texture around. I can rotate it, I can scale it to however I want. If we're outside of the group, so let's kind of go back out, and let's say I color the roof outside of the group. A lot of times if it's a simple group or component that is just the one object, it will colorize it. However, if we right click and we want to change the location of, let's say we're trying to line up the roof panels, it's not there anymore because it's actually not in the component. Same thing if we're over here, these are components of each other, but if I place it there, it's not going to place it on all of the rest of the components because it's not actually in the component. It's on the outside shell of it. So here, let's go in here and make sure that the outside part is turned green. I'm going to, for the dirt, I'm going to go down here to colors, kind of pick more of a brown color, and go in here and paint that. Next, let's go through the concrete. So your asphalt concrete is up here. You have several different options: polished new, polished old. These are concrete forms. You have some different blacktop So I'm going to do the new, again, edit group, and come in here and paint all the sides. And I'm going to do this with all three of our foundations. Same thing with our driveway. Next, let's go ahead and we can do the chimney real quick. So that is going to be some brick. We only have two different options of brick, so we're just going to use this brick antique. Make sure we come in here, edit the group, and paint all sides. Let's go down here to our roof. Let's turn that off, just to make sure that we don't miss anything down here. All right, so that is that. Let's go ahead and turn the roof back on. We can come up here to the roofing, and this one is a cedar roof, so we're going to kind of use this one right here, this roofing shingles wood. Make sure we edit the group. Go ahead and place it in there. I want the end of the shingle to be at the very bottom. So I'm going to right click, go to texture, position, click on the move tool, and I'm simply going to move this down to where it lines up there at the bottom. Go ahead and hit enter, and then hold down Alt. We're going to sample this side and place it over here to the other side. Next, we're going to do the stucco. So we have, we're going to do some white-ish stucco. So over here on the brick cladding and siding, this one right here is your cladding stucco white. Before we edit it, we need to click on it first. If we want to kind of change it to more of a lighter shade, we can come over here to the home, select the stucco, click on the edit material, and here we can come in here and bring up the coloring a little bit. Click done, and now you can see it's automatically changed it. So here we can come in here and paint the rest of the sides. And there we go for that. Here, one last thing before I let you kind of finish everything up kind of on your own. So we're going to do just a gray color for the trim and for the outside trim parts. So if we go over here, we can click on colors, come down here, and I'm simply going to click on a gray. You need to make sure that you right click and that you're inside of the model again. And as you see, as we paint this, it's painting it on all of those other windows, which saves us a lot of time. So come in here, just make sure that everything is painted. Using those keyboard shortcuts of moving around to make things easier for you. And the same process with the door. We just got to make sure that I have the trim for the door as a component and the door itself as a component, and then one component together. So you need to make sure that you go all the way in to where only the trim is visible. Everything else is that green. We can come in here and go ahead and paint all of this. So that is all of that. Go ahead and on your own finish up the windows, and at that point you can come in here, hide your roof, and you can do the interior however you wish. After this, we will, in our next video, we will take a look at the 3D warehouse, bringing in certain things, and then we will actually switch this from SketchUp for Schools over to SketchUp Pro, and we will walk through setting everything up for layout. Thank you for watching this episode. Stay tuned for more on the channel.